start to his Overwatch League career last year. It was constant struggle for him. Now we're coming into it. You know, AKM isn't quite rich yet, but he's working on it. It is looking up, at least in this season.
He had that great moment on Widowmaker recently and all sorts of things. But this is, you know, he's a player that's been in Overwatch since, it seems like the beginning of time. And he has had his own squad. He, you know, former teammates with Unco as well, and now reunited. And yeah, we'll see. 4 of Happy's 8 deaths were to Zachary. Happy only returned the favor twice. Thank you, Captain Planet, for throwing me under the bus. Much appreciated.
Well, it's also like, oh man, I really wonder who the Widowmaker. No, we don't get to see Widowmaker much. Sorry, man. It's 3-3. That's pretty much it. So no mysteries here. It is going to be 3-3 right out the gates for both teams. 3 tanks, 3 supports. The big beef.
Yeah, this is what the map dictates that you pretty much must play on this. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how Guangzhou is able to do it, because they didn't have to do a ton of this against Chengdu.
No, but they're just going to go ahead and just hop over. They're like, right, you want to hang out on that high ground, Dallas Jewel? Well, you're going to have to contest on the point at some point. And, well, dropping so low, that was very scary there for Rio. He is going to be able to survive, but he nearly got clipped, and that would have been the end of the push for the charge. Everybody on the charge right now kind of hanging on by a thread. Dallas Fuel sticking together, doing a good job of working behind OGE's shield.
Still just kind of a delicate balance on the point here. No high ground for either team. Well, actually, no, they've rotated. Happy is on the high ground. He's got Graviton ready. He's just going to launch it in there. Everybody caught up, swinging the hammer through in a pure cleanup.
Oh, wow. Zachary's going to wish that he had that rally back as well. Threw the rally in, hoping to be able to survive in that grab, and it's just not going to be good enough. Team kill for the charge, and they are going to be very happy indeed collecting this first point and still having a couple of ults in the bank to work with. Char's ult is about to come online with that sound barrier. We've nearly got the self-destruct and the shatter. I mean, Charge right now, everything went right for them on that first point.
Well, they were able to win it with a single ultimate, and that's because Happy just got there a little bit quicker, able to displace Dallas's Zarya from the high ground, take high ground of their own, and do so much damage from on high that they just had the grab, chucked it in there, won the fight. Simple as that.
1, 2, 3, connect the dots. It all works in the end. AKM having to back off. Trying to work up that energy, but there's the shatter. Is there a follow-up possible? It's definitely looking like it. Rio just pasted too, and OGE gets run over by Happy. Just like that, the charge powering through fight after fight.
They ended up committing the Earth Shatter, the rally, and a Transcendence into it, but it's fine because the Shatter was used on the other side from Dallas. Dallas still with an advantage, but that's just a really nice work by Charge to spot that window, to be able to knock AKM down. You know you're tracking ults. You know AKM has probably done enough to get his grab up, so you see him out there. You're able to take that fight, take him out of the equation.
Let's see if he can get that grab off this time here for AKM if there's an opportunity. There is an angle here perhaps, but Hotba is going to hang around close enough where the D-Matrix will have an effect. So still, AKM. We do see that. Oh, right into the middle of them. There we go. There's the angle. Self-destruct chucked over the top.
Combo.
And they will get the combo off. And there's the solid hold that Dallas Fuel were looking for.
Perfect execution. AKM was tracking that defense matrix. He saw it come online. Defense matrix has a 2-second cooldown window. Chucked it right at the Diva, knowing he was safe to do that. Then you always combo it with the self-destruct. And the last piece of the equation is, how do you get the shield down to make sure the self-destruct hits? In this case, it was a really nice charge from OG. Dallas stabilizes.
So one fight for Dallas. A little bit more confidence here for them, perhaps. And they will have the shatter coming online for OGE in just a moment. But now it's the charge. Nearly got a 6-pack rolling. And a thirsty Hex.
Well, they've got the 3-piece that they're looking for right now. So it's all about Happy's initiation. Can he find a window in which to land this Graviton Surge?
He's hanging off on the side right now. They're obviously trying to just chunk him down and really put the pressure on. Going to bring him all the way up onto the high ground. That's going to make it difficult to get the follow-up, however. And there will be no kills from that self-destruct. So a little unfortunate with the placement of that grab. Didn't really allow his team to follow up on it. And they had a couple. It's only the 2 ultimates that got committed. They still have the shatter. And that's going to be Rio throwing it in now.
OG Shatter got blocked. AKM's able to take down Rio. The other side of things, now Transcendence being committed as well. And it seems like the Guangzhou charge is actually retreating instead.
They're charging back the other way.
Hey, that's what
so easy.
What retreating is.
So easy.
That last grab, there were a couple mistakes there. I mean, he tried to get cute with it and got the grab on Tiger, but even if that, the timing was off because the grab faded before the self-destruct even landed where the grab was previously. So just a little bit of a timing error from Guangzhou cost him that fight. Now, it's going into the next bit of it. AKM's got Graviton. A couple support ults should be up, so you've got grab self-destruct for Dallas.
Oh, surprise, surprise! Fully charged AKM. Gonna be taking him for a ride. RCK removes Rio just like that. And you don't want to get to AKM right now. Sounds like a angry hornet.
Now you get to back up there, only using that one. Ultimate's really nice. They're able to get the one kill, and that's a one fight, depending on the target you're able to take down in these mirror matchup compositions.
So you can see Happy charging forward, trying to soak some damage. And Dallas Fuel have succeeded in rallying now. They are sticking together. Zachary's about to get Rally online, so they'll have that ult to work with. Self-destruct initiate, no time wasted. Rio getting stunned for an instant, cost him his life. And just like that, the Fuel are looking fantastic here in this hold.
Rio was a little bit too far ahead of his team. They notice it immediately, and they just launch in that self-destruct. Yes, it's part of the combo pieces, but again, if you're able to take out the other team's main tank, that's usually a one fight anyway, so why use two ultimates when one will suffice?
Rally through, let's go. Time to change up the pace here for the charge. Wanting to take the fight straight to him. Dallas Fuel gonna counter with a rally of their own. Both of these teams now gonna be pretty much full on HP as the sound barrier gets thrown in, and that is gonna be the tipping point where the Dallas Fuel are finally able to run down Kib and Rio as well. Rio has not been having a fun time of it. 5 deaths so far for him, most on the server. Happy isn't far behind with 4 though.
Well, we've mostly seen Rio on the Hammond so far in the Overwatch League this year. You have to start questioning how good is this Reinhardt play, and it's mostly just been 2 or 3 steps ahead of his team, and Dallas has done a great job of taking advantage of that. Now, high ground AKM is going to use a lot of damage up top, uncontested, gets his Graviton Surge up, wants to back up with his team. Dallas done a great job retreating.
Well, let's see, is there a bubble? No, closer. Out in the open, gets picked off. But we still have a couple on the board. Rio, once again, getting focused down. Transcendence has to get thrown in here by Shu, trying to keep his teammates alive, and it's going to work. But now you're in overtime. You are not allowed to lose another fight if you're the charge, and you still have a whole long way to go before you're in the second point.
There should at least be one more fight before second point comes on here, as they're going to have to push that limo around the bend, while Dallas is set up to everything they could possibly want. Sans Closer's ultimate, they're going to have grab, they're going to have shatter. Zach is close to rally, so that should cover up for any deficiencies for not having sound barrier. Meanwhile, they're going to have to get a couple of good engagements from charge, make sure that this fight goes long enough that they can get other ultimates up.
They have the fight enders of their own. Shatter is here. Rally gets thrown in by Zachary immediately to kick things off, just goes charging in. The sound barrier is going to get forced out by Chara. And now it's the self-destruct going right over the edge. Still finds a kill on Shu. Second time now, looking so good. Hoppa gonna get DMX'd, and now it's all gonna fall apart here for the charge. All done but the crying, Hex.
RCK had a bomb last week that some people weren't sure was intentional or not. But right there, he's shown some angles right now to use the bombs outside of the combo, getting a lot of value. And the Dallas Fuel will hold at the middle of Hollywood Street Stage. We'll see what comes up next after the break.
AKM, he was holding his teammates' hands momentarily during the break. He's just like, follow me. I will lead you to victory. Clearly, things are working out here for the Dallas Fuel. It's a different team that we're seeing now, not the team that got 2-0'd on the first map of this series. This is a team that is able to set up a defense and able to work together.
It's a different composition, and AKM seems to really understand it, or at least the communication structure of the Dallas Fuel, who they've got in now, seems to really get it. And you can tell based on how they're punishing some of these very small missteps. When you're running mirror compositions, it's about who makes fewer mistakes. And the mistakes are so minuscule that they're kind of hard to see sometimes, but it can be a Reinhardt two steps out of a position, maybe a Brigitte overextends looking to do more damage or hit that last Inspire hit, and it seems like they're calling it immediately and they're pouncing on it.
This is a different beast. Now let's see if they can follow it up here.
This is the somber variation they like to run. This is the versatility RCK gives them. No Diva for them. They're just going to run Sombra instead. I wonder if Guangzhou will try to take advantage of this when they realize what they're up against.
Oh, he would just love to get 3-0 hacked right there. He goes for Happy instead. So RCK, he found a high-value target. That's a lot of damage, and the bubbles as well that are out of the picture for a moment there on the fuel side of things. Now they're just going to go ahead and stare at each other from across the gap. Dallas Fuel calmly sipping their lattes. Not concerned. OG, he's done with his. He was quick.
Yeah, they just put a little bit of pressure on the point, make sure that they have to drop down from the high ground. It's only Happy who stays above in that Zarya high ground position. Rio's shield getting very low. Dallas has taken a lot of percentage on this point.
And they only got the 2 ticks on board already, and then Dallas just changing it up. Closer's low, though he's under pressure, and Hotba is going to cut him off from the rest of the pack and remove him.
That was big. He just missed going up the stairs, and they're going to capitalize on it. 3 kills. Now that is a 1 defensive fight for the Guangzhou charge. Upcoming, though, is RCK's EMP. And the reason you see EMP against 3 tanks and 3 supports so often is that tanks and supports rely on their abilities a little bit more than DPS heroes do. If you EMP a McCree, he can still shoot you. If you EMP a Reaper, he can still shoot you. Damage dealers just want to shoot you, whereas tanks and supports much more reliant on their abilities to stay alive and to do damage.
So a lot of positioning, a lot riding on RCK's shoulders. Nearly got a 6-pack online here for the Dallas Fuel in terms of ults. The charge a little bit behind on Hotba, but I'm sure he's not going to take too long. But there's the angle from RCK. And the sound barrier perfectly countered. Rio still in this fight. It took everything to kill him, but they will succeed in the end. Despite it all, the charge getting wiped out. Happy and Hotba the last 2 alive, and that's not going to be for long.
Yeah, EMP so good against these compositions. Strips off shields from a sound barrier as well. Now they're going to be able to push forward. Had to use everything, but I think it's fine there. It's similar to, you know, you're going to have to use stuff to win a fight, and I don't even mind when teams use overkill. You want to win the fight. You don't want to go into your final fights having to win first point, otherwise ending the map. So nice hack there.
Oh, that was a perfect cleanup.
Yeah.
But you're right to point out the number of ults that Dallas Fuel had to use to get this positive result. They only have sound barrier left. Whereas, obviously, we're going to have the self-destruct thrown in here from the charge, right around the angle. Nowhere for AKM to hide. Bubble was on cooldown. So right back into it from the charge. Yeah. Dallas Fuel right now need to get through this choke point.
Right now, Dallas is just counting ultimates used against them so that they can try to figure out the economy here. It's been noted that Closer might be one of the best ultimate trackers in the entire game. A couple of those Lucios come to mind, but he's very able to count how many ults and where they are getting their secondary ults as well.
All right, out into the open from Rio. No fear in his eyes. He's willing to take the fight to Dallas. Looking to find it, and now Rio just backing off. He's still got that shatter and sees it. Catches him with the shield down. This is big. Smooshes Zachary. Unko's gone, and just like that, the charge are going to run right over the Fuel.
Fuel likely kind of okay with that. They're getting in a good ultimate position themselves, and that was a lot committed from the charge. A little shy of 3 minutes left. Dallas probably has to win 2 fights to get to the escort marker on the ground, so Guangzhou wants to hold close here. And you want to force a team to use ultimates just to get out of spawn. That's going to slow them down a bit. They can't really do much when they came out of this fight.
Oh,
a nice fire strike hits Zach, too.
Delaying things further. 2.5 minutes on the clock here for the Fuel. And they have quite a bit of ground to cover themselves, so they need a win here. And it is coming up. It's looking like they will have the tools necessary in a moment. AKM with the Grav, Shatter, and we have the Trance as well. And again, we'll see if RCK can deliver on another fat EMP.
EMP wants to take down all the abilities. Defense Matrix would go down as well, and they'd be able to grab into it if they should so need. But that is 2 quick kills.
That was an aggressive EMP. It's like, I don't need to sneak up behind you if I can just teleport right on top of all of you and EMP that way. So RCK pays with his life, and will go for the swatch to the Diva. But that's fine. He did his job. They got through the choke point, and now they have some room to maneuver with.
Well, they needed 1 fight to get into the Streets phase, and I said they probably need 2 fights to win it. Now, if they want, they can even bide their time. 142 should be enough time for a self-destruct, but they might just go for a Shatter here and a rally. It's unclear unless they want to set up the enormous combo of the grab and the self-destruct and then the charge.
Charge electing to take the fight next to the rectangle of victory.
AKM getting some energy up, was at 0 momentarily, still only at 36, so he can't be his own follow-up to the grab.
Yeah, there we
Now
go.
he can.
Now he can. Now he can do some damage. And we will have the grab thrown in. Trance is there to counter at the shatter as well. And there's the stun. Combo works out. The charge off the back of a couple of ultimates will win the fight.
Well, we mentioned Hotba on the Tracer before, but now he's playing Diva, which was what he played in all of the 2018 Overwatch League season, and now 60 seconds remain. Dallas's last good chance is this Graviton. RCK still very far away from a self-destruct, so they're going to have to find some sort of follow-through. Going to be insanely difficult given the defensive ultimates that Guangzhou has available.
Yeah, exactly. We've got that sound barrier. We've got that Trance online.
And they have Rally, too. I mean, they've got everything they could possibly want defensively.
30 seconds on the clock. 1-1 fight here. That's all they need. Dallas Fuel, and there it is. The grab to open it up. Trance instantly used. Trying to cancel out the shield, and there's no follow-up here. It is the Fuel throwing everything into the mix. Sound barrier down for the Fuel as well. And well, the charge, they're surviving so far, although as I say that, RCK once again delivers with a self-destruct kill on Shu. Is it enough, though? They will have the hot button. No, he gets demeched immediately, and this is not looking good. It looks like Dallas may be able to win out. The Shattered will connect with 2.
Counter Shatter grab on the card. Is there any follow-up for this? They've lost too many already. Can Rio be the one lone champ here? It's him and a couple of tanks so back and forth. Rio just swinging the hammer, trying to clear him off the point.
What is going on? They're playing hot potato with AKM. He's dead. It's RCK now. Self-destruct forces him off the point. Closer's going to go for a boop, and this is it. Dallas Fuel down to 2. Who's going to be able to make it back in time? The answer is nobody. Nobody is close enough. Closer gets denied, and it will be the charge with a 2-0 lead over the Dallas Fuel.
The Charge have won in one style. The Charge have won in another. Dallas back against the wall, trying to get themselves on the right side of 500 for the season. We'll see if they can do so after the break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.